Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm Jocelyn, Bonilla. Over 30,000 veterans return home to California every year from the military. Here at Cal State Northridge, some 500 students are currently receiving veteran benefits. Today we will be talking to two of them about their experiences during and after the military. Joining us today are Brenden Nakamine, a journalism major who grew up in the Valley, and Nate Koppert, also a journalism major. Welcome to the show and thank you for being here today with us.
Thank you.
So let's start with the obvious. Why join the military? We'll start with you, Brenden.
For me, none of my family had ever really served, so it wasn't like a family thing for a lot of people. For me, it was something that I just felt personally obligated to do it for myself. When I was in middle school, we took a class trip to Washington, D.C., and just seeing all the monuments and memorials and everything, I got a real sense of patriotism, and then 9/11 happened a couple months after that, so probably since I was about 14, it's something that I just kind of felt I wanted to do, just to give back to my country.
Great, and what about you, Nick?
I grew up as a dual citizen. My mother was British, my father was American. I lived overseas all my life, and when I finished high school, I decided to try to give America a chance and see what it was like, and I decided to join the Army to give back, and that's...
And what do your family and friends think about the decision?
They're proud of me for the most part. I mean, some of my family members would have rather me finish college first, but they're proud of me. I mean, they don't think that I made a mistake or anything like that, so.
Was anyone against it when you told them?
Go ahead.
No, my parents were proud of me as well. It was just the fact that I told them the day after I signed up. They were a little bit angry about, but in the long run, they're glad. I believe they're glad I did it.
Yeah, my family was supportive the whole way. I mean, as soon as I told them, they just wanted to make sure I was sure that I wanted to do it and it wasn't just like an impulse decision. But as soon as they realized that it was something I really wanted to do and I felt like I needed to, they really got behind me on it and supported me the whole way.
Now, I know you both enlisted in the Army, so I want to ask, like, why the Army? You have the Marines, the Air Force, Navy. Why the Army? Nick?
It was just a rush of blood to the head. It was my friend joined as well, and I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it as well. And that was it.
When I enlisted and joined, I knew that I wanted to do a job where a lot of it would be going over and actually trying to help other countries as opposed to just going and fighting in a war. Even though that is part of the job, that's not the only job for what my actual job is. And so the Army gave me the best opportunity as far as jobs go to go and actually feel like I'm contributing to help rebuild countries.
Now, did you have any expectations before joining?
Not really, considering I really didn't know anybody in the military. I didn't really have any experience with the military itself. I really had no idea what to expect, so I kind of went into it blind and just hope for the best.
What about you, Nick? Did you have any expectations?
Yeah, I had a lot of fear. I did it without thinking, and I just saw all the bad things that happen overseas and stuff, and I did it, but I was really afraid.
You're afraid. Now, tell me a little bit about, like, a day in the life of a soldier in training. I know that you were in Georgia and received your training in Georgia?
Yeah, I went to Fort Benning for basic training. And typically a day over there at basic training, you wake up around, well, you have to be in first formation, usually around 5 o'clock for PT, which means you wake up around 4 a.m. You have to make your bed, shave, get dressed, all of that type of stuff. You usually do PT for about an hour, eat breakfast after you shower and everything. Then you just basically train all day. You have a lunch break, a dinner break, but typically you train probably until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Then you come back. Then the drill sergeants have a review with you for everything you've done for the day. You get to bed around 10 o'clock, and then you start all over again the next day.
So what are you trained for?
It's a variety of different things. It's broken up into different phases, and each phase has its own emphasis. You learn everything from rifle marksmanship, how to clean your weapon, drill and ceremony type things, how to move in formations, how to move in the field. You have something called an FTX, which is a field training exercise where you actually go out and you live in like little tents or like huts that you kind of have to build, and you practice patrolling, security, just stuff like that.
And you were stationed in Germany, right, Nick? Mm-hmm. And how was it your experience during the training?
Oh, during the training, it was bittersweet. In the end, I hated it.
Training?
Yeah. I didn't know. I would always think to myself, why am I here? Why did I sign up for this? But in the long run, it was a great learning experience, not just as far as the Army's concerned, but in life.
And Brenden, going back to you, you were in Afghanistan, right?
Yes.
So what were some of your duties there?
Everybody has to pull a variety of different things. We all have to take turns pulling guard shifts, working the towers, gate duty, inspecting vehicles that come in, personnel that come in for various meetings and things like that. I did a lot of office work over there too, just filing documents, paperwork, contracts, project proposals, things like that. And then there's also the aspect of actually going out on missions where we would go to meetings, go to villages, meet with elders, meet with district leaders, things like that, and see what projects they need over there to help improve the quality of life for them and try to get the people to support us in what we're trying to do to help them over there.
Now, Nick, you were in Iraq,
Yes.
correct? And what was your experience like? What were some of your roles?
My primary mission over there was I was part of what we called Operation Con Air, which we transported detainees from our base to Basra to Baghdad and back. And
What was that like for you?
it was very surreal at first, and then it just became everyday life, sort of. It was just, that was my only purpose at that time. And I wasn't happy or sad, but that was just what I was supposed to do.
So what was your the hardest experience while you were there?
I lost a few comrades and friends, and it was just...
And I ask you the same question, Brenden.
Luckily for me, no, we didn't lose any actual members of our team. There were some people from our unit who we lost, but I wasn't actually stationed with them. It doesn't make it any easier, but it's definitely probably a lot harder to lose people that you're actually stationed with. But for me personally, probably the hardest part of getting through all of last year when I was over there it was probably Christmas was actually the hardest, because we actually had the internet over there, so we were able to video chat with our family back home and things like that. But you know, video chatting with your family while you're seeing them having Christmas dinner or opening Christmas gifts and stuff like that, it's definitely a hard pill to swallow, having to deal with that.
And now there's a lot of criticism about the war. There's people who are opposed it. There's people who agree with it. It's like, what did you ever think that maybe people were right? Those people that opposed it when you were out there?
There's times when you're over there where it definitely feels like we're fighting an uphill battle. I mean, especially for Afghanistan, because I haven't been to Iraq, but in Afghanistan, we're in a country where we don't really know the terrain that well. We don't know the environment as well as the enemy does, so it definitely gives them an upper hand. And there's always going to be people over there who are native to the country and locals who feel like we don't understand their culture. And we really don't to a certain degree, but we're doing the best that we can to show them that we can understand their culture, and we're doing the best that we can to show them that we're there to try to help improve their quality of life. So the best that we can do is just go over there and hope that we can actually get them to see that we're trying to help them.
Yeah, what about you, Nick?
It was difficult at times. Going there, before you get there, you're thinking, you know, I'm here to fight for America's freedom and stuff like that. But you get there, and it's just, at the end of the day, you just want you and your comrades to get back home alive, and that's all that it's about.